me, it was worthwhile because today we have G2 and KC. This matchup makes the last 2 days taste like a mediocre snack that you microwaved between games, with today being a Michelin star 5-course meal. KC's dreams are no longer memes, and G2's cuisine never tasted better. Both teams' off-season bets are set to pay off today for an early finals qualification. Yike and Targamas are out for blood, and I could go on for hours about what's on the line for Kalist and Hansama. Get comfy, grab a snack, put on your best suit, grab your oxygen mask, and put yours on before you help out others around you. We're getting ready for an epic day in Berlin, and it starts by putting KC Synergy to the test in the latest episode of DuoQ. Welcome to DuoQ, where we find out how well our duos know each other. I'm joined by Vladi and Targamas. We're going to ask you a series of questions on who you think best fits the answer. The goal is to answer the same and you'll get a point. Your score will compete against other LEC teams throughout the year. Fnatic currently has the lead with 6 out of 8 points. Are you guys ready?
Yeah. I got it.
Ready? Prêt? Okay, first question. Who is the most likely to get lost in real life? Who is the more likely to get lost? 3, 2, 1, reveal.
Thank you.
Okay, so Vladi.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just.
He's just 19.
I just play League of Legends.
All
I'm
right.
not very good in life.
Do you get lost on the map though?
Right. Yes, yes.
Oh, yeah, I do. I do.
Well.
I'm macroless.
All right. Next question. Who is the pickiest eater? 3, 2, 1, reveal. Not a match?
Why me?
But of course you say me. But bro, the food, every time you don't want to eat it and you order for yourself. Like, you can't say I'm picky when you never eat the food.
That's fine. I'm
No,
ordering,
but that's
I'm ordering
literally-
different food. Maybe I don't like myself.
And then he's ordering curry every day because he doesn't want to eat the food.
Okay, so
But then
beef
I'm the
with
picky
chef.
eater.
All right, ego question coming up next. Who is the smartest about the game? 3, 2, 1.
I don't have ego.
And that's a match. Argu, the
Yeah.
mastermind behind all the plays. Are you controlling him? Like, are you actually the puppet master of the team?
I mean, I don't like to control people, but sometimes if I really feel like he's actually hinting a lot, then I try to say you can't do that, but I don't like to do it.
Putting on the leash on your team.
Sometimes in the reviews I get whip of lastbacks, so he's actually smart.
And then sometimes he's having a crisis and then he doesn't want to do what I say, he wants to do the opposite. You know?
Because I'm right.
Classic mid laner with an ego. Anyway, next question. Who is more likely to accidentally set the team house on fire? 3, 2, 1, reveal. And that's a match. Vladi, so you get lost, you set the house on fire.
Yeah, it comes to
You're
my
a kid, actually.
It comes to the previous question.
He's just 19.
I'm 19, I play League of Legends, that's it. There is not much to do.
All right. Next question. Who is the best Rizzler? 3, 2, 1. Tagu?
I saw his
It's a match! Okay, so I want to investigate on this. Tagu, what's your best line?
I don't have a line. Like, the thing is, I think he didn't know what to answer either because none of us is a Rizzler, so...
All right. Only focused on League of Legends.
Yeah.
Kinda.
You don't have any moves either? Ready? No.
Huh?
Mew. Okay.
What was that?
Who has the best fashion sense? 3, 2, 1. And that's a match.
I'm not into fashion, I'm sorry.
So next question. Who is the better at giving gifts? Who is the best at giving gifts to other people? 3, 2, 1.
What did you say?
That's a match.
You know why?
Because you never do
Because
gifts.
I never give.
Of course, bro.
I never give a gift.
Of course.
Not even for their birthdays?
I mean, there was only Kana's birthday, but he didn't want anything. I asked
All
him.
right. The next question is going to be for the win. Who would be the most resourceful in a zombie apocalypse? 3, 2, 1. So that's not a match, which is very surprising with everything else you said, Betty.
You know, sometimes I say that I only play League of Legends, but when it comes to zombies, and because I play games,
Yeah.
I'm more experienced with that.
All right,
I mean,
so
the thing is, in a zombie apocalypse, Vladi would survive because he would be in his room, right? But then he would just run out of food at some point, and then he would just die.
do you agree?
No, I don't agree. Like,
What would be your best defense?
I think
what would be
I think
your
I would
thing?
find the cure.
The cure.
Yeah.
Sciences, Vladi.
I think so.
We'll count on you if things go wrong. All right, guys, with 6 points, you tie Fnatic at the top. It may not be a win, but you're still sitting pretty at the top. Are you guys fine with the answers that you gave? How well you know each other? Can we say that there's enough synergy?
Yeah, I think it's fine. We argue sometimes, but I think it's normal, you know? Like,
Alright.
we also do in scrims.
Work on improve. That's all for us here in Duo Q. Targamas, Vladi, thank you so much for participating. We'll see you soon in the next time. KC versus G2. The old kings, dynasty, yada yada yada. They sit comfortably on their throne, but a threat arrives. La révolution is near, is proche here, and both teams are fearless, heading into Fearless Draft Best of Fives. I'm Laure, and I will be joined by Odo, Amde, and Finn. I did not know that you guys were allowed to be next to each other. Like, what's going on? Is Shigenza nearby? Are we having like a trio reunion here?
To be honest, it is the first time we're on the desk together, so maybe, just for next time.
Anything you guys want to solve before today?
Tense. It's been a hard day, but I think for this series we can put our differences aside and focus on the coming day of the
I know.
event.
I have my eyes on the prize, it's gonna happen. Don't
And I got my eyes on the prize being this Fearless Best of 5 series. The first one we have in LEC. And guys, KC, G2, I could not be more hyped, especially when you consider KC and where they come from being dead last. The biggest joke we had in Europe basically last year,
that's a
which
bit
is
far.
No, well, that's not far. That's what the CEO said actually.
Did he now?
Verticals, he said on social media a year ago, everyone was laughing at us, and look at us now. The strongest team in the LEC facing off against G2. What a team. I get it, honestly. Like they must be happy, but especially when you consider their growth, what a glow up from KC.
I mean, coming into last year, I think there was definitely some growing pains into entering the league. I think those first 2 splits, they kind of want to forget about it. But coming into the summer split, we actually saw the team kind of coming together. When they brought in Upset, when they brought in Closer, I think they were kind of showing what the team could be. And building on that into this year, I think we've finally seen the kind of vision that was planned from the beginning of last year. And it's very exciting to see how they're finally in the top 3 and they're finally contesting for the title.
Exactly. You saw the growing pains. When you have a team that comes from the ERL straight into LEC, it's a little bit difficult because you don't really know what to expect. You don't really know if your systems, everything you've been building up is working. But now, given time, I feel like their trajectory ever since the summer split has been, a positive one. I feel like they made all the correct moves in the coaching department. I feel like they got star players, especially with Vladi and Kalist coming into this series. I think that it's shaping up to be a great series today, and I'm really excited, especially given how the previous series yesterday have been going with the lack of quality. This is, for me, my series to get me really excited.
And they were so excited last week, especially when they realized that they were going to face off against G2, because I feel like every team, it's a rite of passage. If you want to win the LEC, you have to win against G2, especially here. They have a spot on finals on the line, and guys, I can only imagine when you're some of these players, Yike especially, a lot of people were saying outside of KC, outside of G2, he's not going to be anything. And look at him now.
Yeah, and especially how we've been so teased for a best of 5 Fearless series, finally actually getting one. Because we looked at LPL, we watched the LCK, even in America, there have been 5-game series of Fearless, and now we get to see this, and we get to see Yike and Targamas get back at their old team in G2. And I can just imagine the fire that's burning in their heart right now, how strongly they want to win the series.
G2 have something to prove here as well, I feel, Odo, in the bet that they took in the offseason. Untrusting Skumon, Lebrav as well. And I feel like, especially since the beginning of playoffs, it's paying off for them.
It's paying off. They're ramping up really well, especially with Q1. I was a bit skeptical of the move at first because it just felt like it's another, Yike incident where you're just getting Yike 2.0, the younger Yike in that sense. But I feel like he's shaping up to be really good. I feel like most of the wins come from the way he's been empowered in the early and the mid game. I feel like he has a big voice in pretty much anything that is going on. He's the catalyst for G2. Lavrov, I still feel like there's a little bit of growing pains there, and he's finding his own. But at the same time, I'm excited because the duo is working right now.
There's so much we could say about this series, but so little time. Closing thoughts on this first field as best of 5. We're going to have any expectation, anything that you want to see, Finn?
I hope the game 1 sets the tone and it sets it well. I want to see crazy picks from the start, and I want to see them keep the creativity keep flowing throughout the entire series.
I think that these are the two perfect teams to get that creativity going. We'll see about this in a few minutes, but before that, hearing from the teams, Jiniro is standing by at the Marriott Bonvoy checkpoint in our pre-game check-in, back-to-back with Bibi and
Thank you, Laure. Hi, guys. I'm Ginny, joined with Bibi from G2. I feel like at this point you guys know who that is. Let's talk about your game going up against KC, because everybody's really looking forward to this. I'm expecting it to be a 5-game banger. Your social media manager is saying other things. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I'm excited playing against our boy Yike and Targamas, both players who we had on our rosters before, so I'm excited to beat them today. It's going to be interesting.
So that's your prediction?
Yes.
What exactly about this game is going to be interesting to you? Are you preparing anything with this Fearless draft? Can we expect some wacky picks? Is it just going to be standard?
I mean, I think when it comes to Fearless, there's a lot of stuff that can happen. I mean, especially if you look at our games, we have a lot of picks prepared, and we obviously are looking at what KC is playing as well, and they're playing some interesting stuff. So we're excited what they have to showcase today. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Let's see how the games will unveil. I'm excited for them. So
when you're looking at the KC players and the G2 players, I feel like both of the teams have really done well when it comes to solo queue. So how's solo queue going for you?
I mean, the last 2 days have not been going too great. I think I lost like 15 out of 20 games.
Oh my God.
So I dropped a little bit in the ranking there, but I'm still pretty high. But yeah, I mean, you can tell that it makes sense that both of us are like at this spot in playoffs, because I feel like both teams really grind out the game a lot. And I feel like both teams have very try-hard players who really want to achieve it. And I feel like when you have that, a team or a player is dangerous, right? And I think both teams have this today. So I'm expecting a lot of fights, a lot of mechanical fighting, team fighting. You know, it's going to be interesting. Very excited always to play against KC. I'm sure it's going to be very loud in the studio soon. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Didn't have a best of 5, I think, against KC in this studio. I'm not actually sure. Actually, we did. Never. Maybe. I don't know. It's going to be fun though. I feel like this is KC's strongest version yet, so I'm excited to beat them.
I'm really looking forward to it. You did a great job at hyping up the game. Thank you so much for your time. My question then to you, Kameto, is going to be, considering where KC was last winter, and now you're going up on a best of 5 against G2, what are the emotions?
The emotions are like quite different, I'd say. Last year it was really tough, really hard for me and for the team, for the club, for the fans as well. And this year we are in the winner bracket. We play versus G2, and I actually feel confident playing against G2. When last year I was a bit shaky, and I had some reasons to. And no, this year I feel nice. I feel amazing. The team is working well. They do pretty good in scrims. They have a good team environment. They make jokes every time, so I'm really confident for today.
I think you guys should be, because as you mentioned, KC's doing well in scrims. They're doing well on stage as well. And even in solo queue, when we're comparing them to like the G2 players, which is something that we've done today, they are holding up their own. So in that regards, when it comes to you as, you know, Kameto, when it comes to KC, what has been your work behind the scene to allow this roster to be so excellent?
First of all, our work was to produce our own player from academy. That's why we brought Vladi and Kalist from our own academy. So the coaches, they already know the players, they already know what they are capable to do. And our work also with the solo queue, we have some politics in the club that you have to be high in solo queue to play every day, to practice every day, and to train every day as much as you can, so we have no regrets when we come on stage.
That's a really lovely philosophy when it comes to it, because it sounds like a very long-term plan that you have at KC, which is not necessarily something that we see very often in esports. So I think the fans also, it gives them a lot of hope, but a lot of players to stand behind, because they know we're going to see them in KC Blue, we're then going to see them in the LEC, and there's a form of loyalty. So for the fans that are definitely going to be here, and they're going to be really loud, and the fans that are watching at home as well, what would your message be to them?
The message for the fans: trust the players, trust the staff. We've been working really hard this year, and we are not going to stop. You can follow players from KC Blue Stars now to KCB to KC LEC, and like my goal was when I did KC was to win Worlds. So we are not gonna stop until we do that.
I love that. Thank you so much for your time. Let's see whether or not you guys can go up against G2 in our match of the week. Let's get started.